for the ground. I'm a 2020, whoa, whoa. Woke up to deposits and it's only 8 a.m. Do it for the fam, I don't do it for the gram. Do it for my daughters, do it for my little man. That's my 2020, reason why I win. Lot of missed calls, looking bloody in my call log. I bet to myself, I'm not sorry that I logged, dog. Check my mental health, I was feeling like a lost dog. Bounce back and wipe my paws off. Get it off the humble and I stick to what I know. Nights on top of nights, long nights took a toll. Took some steps back, but I still get up and I go. And now you know, I'ma make some and I'ma spend it. Yeah, new Jeep, no doors with it. No, I won't stop now. Who you kidding? Kidding. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma send it. I'ma send it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma make some and I'ma spend it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. Pressure on me daily, got the family on my back. Dreams are getting bigger, put the city on my map. Wrote inside my palm, but I'll try not to get attached.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing, guys? Hope we are well. Put on some regular music. All right, so I have simple overlay today. Hopefully this is better. You can see the time frames, you can see the pair, you can see everything. And this is the design we're gonna go for these days. So all I'm gonna do is modify this. And the way I'm gonna modify this is I'm going to basically have just put borders around everything and basically make it look like this. So it will look like this, but just with borders basically. So yeah, hopefully you can see it and it's all clear and well. We can remove this so it's nice and zoomed in. Boom. Right, so the chart should be a bit bigger. And I can probably zoom this in a little bit. Yeah, that's probably clear. Let me know what you guys think, if that's zoomed in enough for you. I can zoom it in more. I'm gonna just turn down the music just a little bit. Alright, so with that being said, let's get on to the analysis as always. So we are on GJ. Start off on the daily time frame here. Right, and let's have a look. So daily time frame here. All right, let's hide drawings just for the minute now. Daily time frame here on GJ, we can see that the previous daily closed bullish here and back at this zone. So if you remember this zone here from the left, we're still at this resistance. So if I bring up the line, you can see that line that's coming across here. That is from that resistance zone here to the left, and it's kind of where we're trading, right? And I know it looks messy, but this is the line here that we're battling with at the moment. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see we've created our rejection at that. So if I bring back the drawing, you can see how accurate our previous 4-hour support. If I scroll back to the previous 4-hour support here, and we go to current price action, you can see how accurate those zones become, and that's what we're currently rejecting. So it's a mixed session. We have the daily bullish, 4-hour closing bearish. And this is like a classic mixed session. The reason why this is a good mixed session, better than others, is because we're at the top of the range. So if we're going to sell from the top of the range, it actually makes sense, right? So we can have today a good argument for buys and sell. So, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense to have an argument for both buys and sells. But obviously, we're still more bullish than bearish, and I rather buy than sell. But what I'm saying, since we're at the top of the range, there is a possibility if we start breaking down heavy today. If not, I'm still going to continue with my bullish bias and try take price towards the upside. Why? Because that's what's on the charts and that's what makes sense. So based on the bullish momentum and everything, and we closed above the zone. So who isn't to say that this creates support and starts breaking higher? If we go down now to the 1 hour, see what we have, any zones here. We have this 30-minute support that was previous resistance. That's still relevant. This 1 hour resistance can be moved up somewhere here. That's all fine. You know, I'm just marking out what we have. We have this support all the way down here. This, I'm just going to move like this and move this to the 30 because as I always relay to you guys, it's the most recent. So this is the most recent. So mark that as 30, right? This zone here, is it that relevant anymore? Potentially like this, more relevant. Then we have this zone here. Yeah, so that looks pretty good at the moment. And this is a similar scenario than to yesterday actually, right? So similar scenario to yesterday. And if you remember yesterday, we had the same type of thing where we pulled back to the bottom of the range. London came, created support at the bottom of the range, and we pushed up to the upside. It's the kind of the same thing here, so we can populate some form of that. Until we break below here, there's no sells. And again, it's the same plan as yesterday. I want to see us get below, create resistance, then continue down. Exact same plan as yesterday. If not, I'm looking for buys from here and potentially setup number 4 or something like that, right? If we're going to go have a look at gold and see what gold has done, right? So if we're looking at gold here, and you know, we start from the daily time frame as always. Daily time frame has closed bullish here, but again, from the bottom of the range, not the cleanest. No bottom wick here, can flip at any time. 4-hour time frame, although, has created a resistance here, so we could see some downside, but this support, which is here, might pose an issue when we're moving down here, right? So this 4-hour support right here, like this, might pose an issue as we're heading down here. Again, it's a mixed session on gold as well. If this 1 hour does end up closing bullish, you could look to retest the highs potentially here, but just be very careful that the daily has no bottom wick, and the bottom wick is going to be formed here. So I rather see this make a bottom wick first before trying to take it towards the upside. Would make a lot more sense and would be a lot cleaner. So yeah, I prefer definitely to see that first before trying to trade this. So yeah, it's a little bit messy, but again, if we start breaking above, I mean, really at the moment it's a little bit tough. I rather see this bottom wick be made, then start to create support from here and try to move towards the upside, and then can look for buys. But GJ is cleaner than gold today, that's for sure. And yeah, now we just need to wait for the setups. So this 30-minute line here, I'm just going to move down to the 15 because that's more relevant. Keep it something like that. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed that analysis, leave a like. Let me know if you like the analysis. Morning, Crest. Morning. How are you doing, brother? See, Crest, something like this. Just something simple with chat and that type of size. And then we just need borders around it, right? Just to put borders around the camera, borders around the chat, and then borders around the screen. And that's enough. That would be good enough. Morning, morning, man. Crest, you want... Obviously, he wants me to look at AU. So, I'll have a look at AU for him. Let's have a look. So, AU, daily time frame we always check. Yeah, it's going down now. Yeah, AU time. Going down at the moment, but what's the 4-hour doing? Yeah, 4 hours at this support here, which is tough. You know, technically, man, if this starts rejecting this support, there's no reason why you can't wait for a setup for buys here. Especially if we start closing above these zones here. It could set up nicely for buys. But if we do get below the support, again, mixed session, you can look to sell down into this support down here at 0.6658. So that would make sense as well. So yeah, mixed on that. Should I also, let me know in the chat, guys, if I should start putting the stream win rate on the screen as well. Maybe I should put the stream win rate on the screen. Cleaner is better. Why not making the chart full screen, just putting a web in a corner? I think it makes the chart look better. What do you mean by putting a web in the corner? You mean charts full screen like this? Yeah, I put this... Explain to me what you mean by web in the corner. Oh, he means overlaying the cam? Yeah, because I mean, unless you guys want to see a small image of me, then that's fine. If you want me to... Yeah, I mean, it becomes super small. I can show you if you want. Look at this. I mean, if that looks better, then I'll do this. Is that better? Yesterday was better, the purple one. Yeah, I personally liked it, but people want a more cleaner look. I guess this one, at least the chat fits and everything. We will get borders on this, so we'll have something with borders and then the logo. This is just temporary. We're just experimenting at the moment, trying to get a perfect one. But cleaner is better for people using phones and stuff like that. They prefer that kind of cleaner look. So we just want to try cater to everyone. It's always hard to impress everyone, or you know, you'll never satisfy everyone. But the goal is here is just to try, yeah, basically just to try get something that's clean and simple. And yeah, I think this is just right. Yeah, it's good. The only thing we're gonna do is the screen, the edges, we're gonna put a white line as a border, just to make it look clean. And then the chat will just have a small border around the chat. I mean, the chat doesn't even have to have a border, but we also want a border around the camera, and then just to make something a little bit more interesting. Because now I don't like the way that the edges are not covered, you know? CT means counter trend, just so you guys know. BTTM means bottom. Bottom of range. I like the proportions now. Yeah, we're going to keep same proportions, but just put borders on the screen. That's it. Because here at least the chat fits. I mean, Crest, even for the chat, like, just look at the chat when someone types something in the chat, how wide it becomes. Like, if someone types, like, look, this long sentence here, man. Look, it literally goes from edge to edge. Yeah, the small camera, but see, look at the chat now. You see how tight the chat is? This is the smallest we can run chat. So the borders on the chat, maybe just make like the border on the screen will overlay into the chat. So the border on the screen, and then just where it says chat, a line below that using the font that that we discussed, and then just a one at the bottom of the screen to make it continuous. So no border on the left, because otherwise it won't fit. The proportions are alright. If possible, be better to center more on the chart with the sidebar. Yes, I'm working on that. This is just a rough template for now. We're working on that. Don't worry, we'll get it sorted. I see you plan to get a haircut. Yeah, man, very, very funny. You know what I can also do? I can also ban you from the stream. So if you want to be banned, I can do that, because you come in every day and you keep asking for the plan, and when you ask for the plan, you leave. And now you're trying to get personal. If you want to get personal, that's not a game I'm willing to play, man. I draw a line, and I draw a line very quick. So don't cross that line. And now Jiggy will say I'm throwing my toys out my pram. Got it. Nice. No valid point. Yeah, sorry about that question. Good morning. There was a sell possibility of sells yesterday around 8:45 your time, or was it just luck for me? Yeah, sorry, I didn't answer that. Let's have a look. 8:45 my time. That's early in the morning. That's somewhere around here. Yes, 8:45 sells somewhere up here. It was an option, I think, a little bit early. If you wanted to counter trend sell, the best counter trend sell would probably be, and this is still early because I have a bias. My bias was bullish, so I was mostly looking for buys, which you can see is why I do this, because look where we are today. If I stick to a bias, it keeps me safe instead of looking for, because these sells could have stopped anywhere. Sells could have stopped here and then price would have went up and then you would have taken a loss, right? So I'd recommend you stick to a bias and stick to a certain direction. But the key point here is that if you are going to take a sell, and this is the top of our range, when this candle closes inside of the range, that can be your sell option to the bottom, and that's it, you're done. So when you're taking counter trend, you're not expecting it to continue because it's counter the trend. So you just expect to get from point A to point B, and then there's potential reversal that will give you the trend move. But still, it makes sense that at this point in the market, everything was going down. But for me, I don't bother taking that because there's like a percentage chance that what if this support ended up playing out and price started pushing up from here and I'm trying to take sells here. I end up losing this trade. But if I just follow one bias in one direction that I'm more confident in, it allows me just to follow that, take buys somewhere in here, take buys also here yesterday, and then you get two trades following the direction, right? So buys from here and then buys from here. Both of those trades that we took were discussed in the Discord channel actually, yeah, we walked each other through the trades, and I told Jiggy to secure here, but he didn't secure. So we got sniper exit actually, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, our selling option yesterday was below here, so this kept you safe. We were not selling till below here, because yesterday was also a little bit mixed. No worries, man. Glad that helps. So today the plan is actually very, very similar, right? It's a very similar setup. We're coming towards the bottom of the range. If we're going to sell, it's going to be below here to continue down. We have a nice 26 pip here. And if we start creating support from the bottom of the range here, which is also like the 30 minutes somewhere in here, then we can start potentially looking for that and trade back up to here and continue this move. So it's quite an easy mix session here with two areas to trade in. And yeah. I'm glad you like the plan, man. 43 of us in here. My only request is for everyone to like the video. Appreciate you, man. This guy's top supporter. Today he'll get promoted to moderator. So we get promotion. We're gonna get one more promotion here as well. Boom, 2 promotions now. I mean, a moderator, we don't need much moderators because there's not much chat going on, but I'll just do it anyways. Yeah, price move before I saw your message. I got out with 0.5 R. If I had, I would have been BE or taken a loss. It's better. That's what people don't understand, is that at the end of the day, our job is to make profit. So profit's profit. You don't go broke taking profit. But you do go broke taking losses and break even, right? So I think it's a big mistake people make in the market is I mean, like this trade here was a nice trade at Asian session. Check this out. I mean, this is picture perfect, right? Close above this range here. Something like this, right? This is a really nice one. Close above the range. Entry at the break of the high. Doesn't get simpler than this. Stop loss below this candle. 11 pip stop. 21 pip target. Beautiful, beautiful trade. And your targets are accurate like this, right? Look how accurate your target is. But then people are greedy because it's moving fast and they try hold all the way up to this area here. And then when they hold up to this area here, comes back, stops them out. And they're like, oh, I lost the trade. But if you're accurate with your targets, you just be in and out, take profit, and yeah. You live where profitable traders have to go money on vacation? Yeah, exactly. So, super chat, 44 rupees. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. First super chat. Give a signal or I'll sell a kidney for money. Alright. Loading, man, loading. Sell GJ now. Oh man, we have a guy in the chat called Harry. Not bad, not bad. Please, are we looking for buying or selling the market? We're actually looking more for buys, but there is sells as an option, but nothing at the moment. Harry winks. Imposter, we got an imposter. Wonder what you can add here. Appreciate the super chat, Crest. 44 rupees. Can buy a couple of chai karaks actually, no? 2, 3 chai karaks. It's not bad. Actually, no, 2.5 chai karaks in Dubai. Dubai is expensive. In India, probably more. Can buy a Bugatti, yeah, for sure. Well, today our bias, bias never changes in the session. Like yesterday, we identified we had a mixed bias, right? And our mixed bias was we're more looking for buys. Chai karak. You don't know chai karak? Come on, man. We're looking for more buys yesterday. And we stuck to the buys. But if we started breaking below this, we could look for sells because it's slightly mixed, right? Just so we get a trade in our session. Today is pretty much the same since we have one 4-hour candle closing bearish, but the daily candles are closing bullish here. I'm still more bullish biased than bearish, but I also understand that if we start breaking below this support zone that we've been rejecting where this 15-minute is, there's a possibility to sell here down to this low before potentially continuing up, you know. Otherwise, I'm looking for buys inside of here. You don't know what that is? Come on, man. You have to know what that is. You don't know what this is? Crest knows what this is. 100% he knows what this is. You don't know what that is? All good, man. All good. Okay, same shit, different toilet seat, man. Alright, we created support here. Interesting spot to create support. You know, we're not at the low of the range, but we are creating this higher low pattern. But really, I want us to take buys. I probably want us to close back above this range. I just don't see this playing out too often, especially at this time. I don't think this is enough. If anything, I need to see this come back and then do this, and then I can go up and take buys towards the upside. Another question for the folks: does anyone use magic keys or risk to reward? Any suggestions for C-Trader? It's something's called simple math. If you use simple math, you can calculate it very quickly. If you have an average stop size of 20 pips, right? If you have an average stop size of 20 pips, if your stop is only 20 pips big most of the time, and you want to risk, let's say, £100 per trade, then it becomes very simple, right? You know that most of the time you should be using maybe a half lot, you know, and then you can just adjust a little bit. If your stop becomes a little bit smaller, like 15, then increase it to 0.7 lot. You know, if you want to risk 200, then keep it at 1 lot. You don't really need to use that type of thing. If you want to, you can. Totally your choice. Yeah, no worries. I can have a look at EU. For EU, let's have a look at the daily time frame here. Daily time frame is breaking up nicely here. We're still at this resistance we drew from yesterday. 4-hour time frame also still stuck at that resistance. So it's a bit tough spot here because the market positioning here is really bad. We're all at the top of the range, top of the range, top of the range. So if you're gonna try buy EU, it's super risky to buy from here to here. It's really forcing it. Sells could make sense below kind of 1.104, maybe to continue down before continuing more upside. But I'd prefer to see us get above this resistance, hold support, then continue up. That would be a lot better. Exactly, yes, exactly, Jiggy. That's exactly what I do. You on MT5, and I'm pretty sure on C-Trader, you can just drag once you've taken the position where the line is of the position, you can just drag your stop loss somewhere. And then there's like a trading box at the top, which is called one-click trading. So you can just have your finger on the button and press buy. Right, so you can have your finger on the button and press buy. That's how you use one-click trading. US 30, yeah, let's have a look at the US 30, no worries. So the daily close bullish here, but at resistance. Again, all markets are at resistance. Super interesting. Still, this candle is, look, this is what people are gonna miss out. We're still holding above this support here. Right, barely closed below. I wouldn't consider that. If you're gonna sell, all sells are gonna come below this support here, probably at 33,798. Otherwise, wait for this to create. Probably this by New York is gonna set up nicely, because if by New York this 4-hour close is bullish, you can look to retest these highs here, which is why this pair is probably better to trade in New York. All good, man, all good. So yeah, we're pushing up here. You know, possibly even if we close into this range, I want to see how this You know, this could also be an option here, which I'm kind of populating as well. If we get a candle closing inside like this, maybe gives us a chance up to here. We watch this line and see what happens there. You know, because we'll be closing back into the range. Yeah, let's have a look here. Yeah, there's a potential. This range to trade back to this low is only 5 pips, not enough for me to trade. But when we're back into this range, from here to here, we have 22 pips, so it's not bad. We just need to see what it does at this low here. What's the reaction at this low? What the hell is this? No, thank you. Go away. Okay, good. If you guys are new to the stream and have any questions you want to ask or any questions about trading, don't feel afraid. Always welcome to ask questions. I appreciate all of you showing up. Be sure you're in the Discord, because the trades that we don't take on stream, we chat about most of the time in the Discord. So very, very useful to be in there. And yeah, you know, we're not always guaranteed a trade on stream, unfortunately. But that's the goal. That's the goal of this. The goal is for you guys to build confidence to take trades by yourself, because that's a problem with a lot of streams. There's a lot of streams just tell you to follow their thing, but they don't teach you how to take a trade by yourself. But if we give a plan and talk about the plan and execute on, and then you guys have to execute on the plan, then it's very, very good. Morning, Samuel. Welcome, welcome. Is price bouncing off the last weekly resistance? Let's have a look. Not yet. Almost. Let's see if that's different on another broker. Yeah, I know. Maybe on this broker, yeah, it looks like it is. But yeah, it is. It is at weekly resistance. That's why I'm populating the option for sells today as well. Because we're at basically market highs here. Right? We're at market highs. And this is a real high point in the market. But that doesn't mean we can't continue, but that's, you know, we have to keep that in mind, that, you know, price could reject here. So let's not fixate too much on, you know, always like, you know, have our minds stuck on buys, because this can change very, very quickly. And we want to still be involved in that. I want, you know, yesterday there was an option to sell inside the range, a little bit riskier, but the problem, the range is not big enough here. I mean, you could anticipate it to go all the way to the bottom of the range, but I rather stick to buys until we break this, kind of like yesterday. Follow that thought process. If we follow that thought process, it's going to be a lot better, and you'll be safer. And if buys do play out, then we get at least a bigger position, right? And when we're taking sells in a safer position. What do we need to see to take buys to 167.64? Where's 64? Why did you choose 64? That's my first question. But yeah, interesting spot, 64. What we need to see for buys, I wouldn't recommend taking buys to there. I would recommend taking buys probably above there, something like this. If we get a closure inside here, that will give you confidence, because here, as you can see, there's a lot of inconsistency. But when we close in these zones here, we always get this upside continuation, upside continuation. Time frames at the top of the screen here. 15-minute we're on currently. If you're asking what time frame for the close, it would depend. Probably 30 minutes not bad, but if the 15 is closing nicely. Daily resistance you have marked. Let's see. Oh yeah. This current daily resistance is not a resistance, because the candle hasn't is still open, so it's not confirmed. At any time this can flip and this doesn't become a resistance. Your real resistance is 591, right, which is going to be somewhere around here. You know, I've seen this happen a lot, where we create this type of candle pattern here, and then the next one breaks the low here, and we start continuing down bearish. Problem is our range is not big enough, and as I said, per the plan, we're best selling below here. This is where the best sells are going to come from, because at any time here we can reject, and again, buys are going to be nicely somewhere around here. No worries, brother, no worries. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, be sure to leave a like. Definitely helps, and I appreciate it. If you're new to the stream, welcome. I appreciate having you. This is a new form of streaming. You know, we mostly give out the plan and you guys execute on the trade. Effective way to get better here. So leave a subscribe so you can join for future streams. Definitely worth it. I think for most traders, their goal is to become financially independent of just to have a better financial situation. But I am curious what your personal goal is when you are financially independent. What are you going to do or want to become financial independent, or maybe do you have another goal? Already I'm financial dependent. I mean independent. Depends what you classify as financially independent. You mean like a millionaire or what? Let me know, and then I'll answer that question in depth. Like financially independent, you mean as what? Explain that a little bit more. Euro USD. You can look at it while we're getting this question, because I like this question. This is a good question. You mean like financially free? That's a different question. Join the Discord, not Telegram. Join Discord. Just Discord's much better. We looked at Euro USD. It's at resistance here. It's a tough zone, tough spot at resistance. If you're going to sell, maybe some counter trend sells below 1.104. You know, but buying above here is a little bit tough. I'd rather get above this resistance and continue bullish. Mortgage free? Yeah, of course. I mean, financially independent means that you make enough money to live. So I think most people are financially independent. I think you mean financially free, right? Improve stream quality. Just change your... Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Just change your stream quality. So if you go to your settings, adjust quality and adjust it to 1080p, the max quality. If you're on phone, go to advanced settings and adjust the settings to max quality. All right, yeah, that's a good question. Well, first of all, if you're at the stage where you're making so much money that it depends the type of person you are, right? I mean, for me, I always have to be doing something. So probably I would be investing that money into different things that would essentially I mean, if you make ridiculous amount of money, I would probably do philanthropy or something like angel investing as well. Uh, but if you're at a spot where you're making enough money that you don't really need to work, then at that point, yeah, probably just do things I enjoy, but always have a goal in mind, right? I think the goal will be not money orientated. See, for me, goals are never money orientated at the front. It is mostly skill orientated. So I'm more concentrated and looking for to improve in a skill, because without a skill you can't make money anyways, right? And before you learn a skill, you're not going to make money. It's only after you learn the skill you're actually going to make money. So I think people focus too much on trying to make money instead of trying to learn a skill first. So, and that skill could be something you enjoy and doesn't necessarily pay you, but it challenges you to get better. So at that point, you probably you don't need to worry too much about the financial side. You do it more for the physical and the mental side, right? And then you can just help multiple people. I think that's the best thing that will, allow you to spend your money. You can travel, you can, invest in other people's businesses, and you can grow for me, I'm a type of person who wouldn't want to stop growing my own business, There's just always ways to make things better. You could probably then at that point, if you're making so much, you can offer more stuff for free, create products that demand a lot of investment but limited return, because at the beginning stages you need to create products and do things that have minimal investment but maximum return. That's our goal in the beginning, but later on we don't really care about return because we have the return. Probably I would build a property portfolio, bigger one. Financially free is when you don't have to listen to anyone's order. You can work whenever you want, at least making 15 to 20k a month, because if you make 10k a month, you become the top 10%. 10k a month is not much money in the big scale of things. I mean, that's top 1%, depends on where you live. But yeah, I would say that probably if you're elite, you're making around 100k a month. Because if you think about it, that's only like 1.2 million a year. And I know people who are making way more than 1.2 million a year. I know people who work an office job, but they're at a very high position, making $250,000 a month. If you're making 15 to 20k, you can literally do anything you want, except obviously buy yachts and something. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're making 10 to 20k, you're very, very, very comfortable. But you're not, yeah, I mean, out here, some things get crazy, yeah. 10k USD a month is a good amount of money. That's 100% for sure. I'm never not saying that. Even $100 I respect. But what I'm saying on the big scale of thing, $10,000 is not too much. It's only like $100,000 a year. It's not even putting you in that millionaire bracket, right? $100%. If you're intimate, I would say you have to enjoy things like. But a lot of people like to put themselves in difficult scenarios, and like business is fun for them. Like I like to challenge myself and put myself through hard times, because that's how you get better, right? And that's how you test yourself to the max. I think a lot of people waste a lot of talent because they don't push hard enough. A lot of people give up too quick. Why most people fail to trade, to be honest, is because they see all these big numbers and the people, but they don't know what's behind all of that, Did we miss our chance to sell? No, as I said, the selling option was break of this low, but the range is tiny. I mean, look, you would be up 5 pips now, and now it's rejecting a little bit. If you wanted to sell, you could sell to the bottom of the range here, but again, that's only 14, 15 pips, and you're worrying about rejection at any time, because look, you can't ignore all of this rejection. This is not something to ignore. Might play out now, But I rather just sell below here and I don't have to worry about any form of rejection. I just sell and I'm at peace and wait for my setup to pay out. Yeah, you definitely need a challenge and purpose in life. I'm not saying $10,000 is not a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But at the end of the day, $10,000 everyone would live comfortably. You're very happy. You're at a good. You would be considered in the big scale of things as an upper middle class income, right? But my point is that you should really see how irrelevant money is at the big dogs. Like, there's people raking in $1 million per month. And that's still only $12 million a year. Not only because it's a little, but try to expand your mind and understand that there's billionaires out there. A billionaire doesn't mean 10 million. It doesn't mean 50 million. It doesn't mean 100 million. It means 1,000 million. So if someone's making 10K a month, they're only making 100K a year. But someone out there has 1,000 million. Not 1 million, not 10 million, not 100 million, but 1,000 million for them to become a billionaire. So you can just understand how money is in that context, right? Money does become something really useless when it's at that level, you know? But you know, at the end of the day, money is irrelevant. It's only relevant of the lifestyle you want to live. If you want to live, if you're comfortable, you know, first of all, I agree that everyone should push themselves to try find their absolute limits and try find where they perform the best and how they perform the best. Yeah, it's just numbers on a screen. Yeah, chasing a high score, exactly. But at the end of the day, however much you're making, if you're comfortable and you're happy making that much, there's no point of trying to drive yourself into the ground, cause stress, cause unhappiness, as Jiggy was saying, just to try achieve a better number. If that better number is gonna, because that better number doesn't guarantee a better life. It's just, you know, you have to always live in your means, basically. Yeah, 100K a month is crazy. If you're making 100K a month, you you don't have to worry about it. You could buy a supercar every single month. At that point, 100K a month is yeah, you're really someone special. Like, I would say where you're someone who's really made it, I would probably say if you're making around 22,500, so around $250,000 a year. If you're making $250,000 a year, you're doing super well, right? You're comfortable. But at that point, $250,000 a year, you probably want more, you know, because you want more to buy a nicer house, you know, because a nice house might cost $2-3 million. Hi, bro. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Are you comfortable? Yes. Thank you so much. I am. $500 every month is a super simple task, especially in this day and age. Just get good at trading. You don't even have to risk much per trade. Just get good, focus in on the skill, spend a lot of time, put a lot of effort into trading, and make sure you know what you're doing. And you only need to risk $50 to $100 a trade, and you can easily make $500 a month. just risking that. All you need is a couple of good trades, maybe 5-6 wins, and you'll make that income. So are prop firms actually worth it? Can someone achieve it? Yeah, prop firms you can achieve, but again, most people lose prop firms after getting it. That's the biggest problem people face. And on top of people losing prop firms, they also they fail to pass it most of the time. So what I would recommend is practice on a small account, the same cost you would have paid for a prop firm. Say the prop firm was like $500, pay $500 into an account, try grow that to 700, maybe 1,000 over 3 to 6 months, and then withdraw that money, apply for the test, pass it. Once you pass it, just go and take that money and keep depositing into your own personal account and grow your own personal account. It's a long route, but it's the way if you can't afford your own account. You have to remember, a long time ago, trading was only invented for the rich. What's your risk per trade, and will you move up at some point? That's a good question, man. First good question I've seen come from you. My risk per trade is around 4 figures, 1,000. Depends. As I said, I use a fixed lot. The reason why is I'm happy to push to like 2,000-3,000, but long term, it causes me a little bit more anxiety. At that type of risk level, I'm comfortable. I make enough. It's enough for me at this point. And at the same time, it's not causing me too much stress where I'm gonna burn out fast. The biggest thing in this industry is not to burn out fast. I mean, you have people out there who show you that they're making a lot per trade, but they also have a signal group with 1,000 members paying them $50 a month, right? So if you have 1,000 members, or let's say 100 members, and they're charging $100 for this group, they're making a lot of money off the group. They're making 30, 40, 50,000. So I don't want to risk money from my other business and blow it in trading. That's not my goal. But if you're profitable anyways, that's never even an issue. And I know long term that I can increase risk and I will be at a profitability standpoint. But the issue is when I start seeing those numbers, there's a small psychological block. But that's exactly the part of the trading journey. I have risked upwards of $3,000 per trade, but long term, once you start taking losses, and it just becomes a little bit more stressful. So I plan to increase it pretty soon, to be honest. So that I'm just doing it as I feel comfortable. There's no point of increasing it when most people increase their risk once per year. So for me, I probably do it halfway through the year. But to be honest with you, some trades I might risk a little bit more and some trades a little bit less. Yeah, you get stressed if you're risking too much. That's the exact point. I don't care what type of trader you are. You can be the best trader in the world. I mean, and this is what people don't understand. People have told me, hey, well, you have profits, right? You've made profits. Yeah, I do have profits. But the problem is I don't want to blow those profits because those profits are my income. So if let's say you make $50,000, right? If you made $50,000 and you're risking $3,000 a trade, 10 bad trades is a $30,000 loss. Yes, you'll have good trades as well, but you also have to think about it like that. If you have a rough week, maybe you take 3 trades, you've just lost 10 grand. That's 10 grand. I can afford to lose that 10 grand because I've made 50, but still that 10 grand is money that should have been mine. It's money I've worked for, and that causes stress because now you're like, oh, I was up 50, now I'm down 10, so when you increase risk, you have to just do it as a whole and kind of start fresh. So you have to take it very, very slow. I think the biggest mistake people make in trading is they increase risk too fast because of this idea that they need to make a lot of money. If you're making a lot of money, you can increase risk. But if you're not making, tons of money, like 100K a month, 50K a month, then you can't be risking 10,000 a trade. It doesn't make any sense, Doesn't make any sense. Like personally for me, I'm happy at that, and I will keep pushing it, and sometimes I do, depends on the trade. With percent language, what's your risk and profit target per trade generally? I risk, probably around of my account. I have to calculate now. My account has grown to this. Yeah, I probably grow, I probably risking around 3% of my account, and my return is probably 3 to 4%, around that. Are you giving signals? No, I don't give signals. For me, it's also about freedom, no boss, time to spend with your future kids. Exactly. Possibility after clothes, choices in life, clothes. I don't know why I read clothes. Choices in life, and spend time how you like, and of course retire my parents and give back. Yeah, 100%. That's always our goal. We always want to give back, always want to help our parents. You want to be stress-free with your kids. You want to buy them the best school, pay for their best education, I mean. Not buy them a school. You won't buy your kids school, but make sure you're living comfortable. I think that's everyone's goals, but only a few percentage reach that, because only a few percent take the risks and push themselves harder. The problem is most people will burn out because they they have this mentality of get rich quick. It's really not a get rich quick game. I know traders who have been trading for 10 years plus, and they're only risking $3,000 a trade after 10 years. But the key thing that everyone misses is not just because it's not just because they're risking 3,000 per trade. The key thing is that they're still here after 10 years. They're still here. You ask most people after a year or 2 years, they quit. It's done. And that's the key. They're still trading after 10 years. If we close bullish here, you think it's good for a buy? It's possible. I like this change of structure. The problem is that this 30-minute has no bottom wick. So at any given time, it can flip. So I rather wait for the 30-minute to close and then probably entertain the idea of buys. Risk management is huge. Yeah, controlling your bank balance is important, but you don't have to worry too much about risk management, because if you're most of the time trying to manage risk in your trades, means that most of your trades are going in loss. So then your trading has a problem. Most of your trades should be going in profit at some point, and risk management should be at the back of your head and should be the last thing you're thinking about, because you're focusing on getting to your target. Right, here's the bottom wick I was talking about. At any time this candle could flip, so it's almost done it, and this is the problem. Share, we get donation here. Best YouTube channel. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Morning, bro. Where do I hail from? I live in Dubai, but I'm originally from England. Quite a complicated family history, though. Sometimes I didn't flip, but it will stay until the candle cross a good zone. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't flip, but at the end of the day, this is a higher time frame candle. It's a 30-minute candle. If it was just a 15-minute candle, then I wouldn't mind it having no bottom wick. And actually, while all of you are here, if you guys want to know exactly how I put rules to this, check this out. Let it just load. Once it loads, I can show you something. And I made a video just on that, right? Look. How to profit off no wick candles and Forex. Candles with no wicks. How do you analyze them? So definitely check out that video. Exactly. My last video was exactly about that. So definitely I advise you to watch that. I'm glad you liked the video. There we go. There's the bottom wick, right? Yeah, the title was like that, but I decided to change it to try everything. I can change it back. But people want to profit off no wick candles, right? Yes, I always wait for the candles to close. That is part of my trading plan. And there we go. That's that candle flipping, right? So if you were looking for buys at that any time, the pro one is better. Okay, I'll change it back. After the stream, I'll change it back. Morning from Portugal. How's the market? Market is a bit slow at the moment. And directly I found myself in a trade 1 hour time frame with bullish candle without a bottom wick and it didn't flip. Hopefully there is also an exception. Yeah. Sometimes there is an exception, but I'll be careful long term. Long term, make sure not to take those type of setups. We wait. Yeah, we are waiting, man. We are. Please check what was wrong with this trade. I can't see the link. You have to send only the X code. If you're sending something, only send the X code. Do I consider fundamental analysis in my trading? No, not really, not too much. I always look at news, and if you look at the guys at the beginning of the stream, I'm always discussing different parts of news and how that can affect price. But again, there's a famous saying, show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. Right? So we don't have to, when we're trading a session, we don't need to consider fundamental analysis. Swing traders, I would agree, it's a very important part of their trading. Am I looking for a potential short? No, not in the range. I rather short below this area here, because at any time this can reject, which we have been seeing it's been rejecting. Alright guys, there's nothing much happening on the chart here. I'm probably going to wrap up the stream. You know the drill of the stream. The drill is we like to keep these nice and short, so we find setups pretty quick. And we cover the trades in the Discord. So be sure to join the Discord. Hopefully we get a trade on stream soon. That's the goal here, of course. And yeah, I'm going to leave you off with the plan. So before you guys leave, listen to the plan. Join the Discord if you have any confusion. What I'm going to look for is if this candle, I'm going to wait for a 30-minute candle to close nicely bullish here. If this 30-minute candle closes nicely bullish, that will be also into London Open, which will give a nice option for upside buys. I don't really like the idea of selling in this range. Maybe London Open might give us an option. I rather sell below here for safest option, because what might happen is we might be ranging in here for the rest of the day. So I'm not really ready to sell in here. So we're just going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. So instead of wasting time, we can discuss the plan and you guys have to take the plan. So if you're new to the stream, I appreciate you joining up, and be sure to join up for tomorrow's stream, and hopefully I'll see you there. And yeah, I could look into making a video about ranges as well. So yeah, Jiggy's going dark for a couple of days. He's decorating his office, so no trading for him. All right, man, wish you the best. And yeah, hope to see you guys on stream. And yeah, with that being said, take care.